3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
It's your girl, Lindz.
It's Hazel Joy.
And Aaron.
And this is
The Fillennials Podcast.
Welcome to another episode.
We back.
We back.
We back.
There we go. As you can see, we have our guy, Aaron Devon, here in the third seat. Because,
Welcome back, sir.
This is going to be a fun episode. You know what I mean?
Yes. Always a fun episode.
Always a fun episode.
I'm just bringing a little more extra fun to it.
There you go. Fun-sized episode.
Hey.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? How was everyone's weekend?
Good. I don't even feel like I remember what I did this weekend. What did I do?
It was Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're a mother.
Yes. Mother brain.
I
Was
say
it brain fog?
Mom brain.
Mom
yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
It's a real
brain
thing,
fog.
man.
How were you celebrated on Mother's Day?
It was pretty simple. We just hung out at my sister's. We had a little barbecue over there, and that was pretty much it. We don't really like to go out. I don't like the crowds, so we just kind of kept it low key.
Same.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, for me and my mom, I wanted to take her out on Saturday because, like you said, on Sundays the restaurants are crazy. Everywhere is crowded. It didn't get to happen, so instead I gave her a card with some money in it, and she was happy.
Oh, nice.
Money over everything, you know. The mamas is happy with the money.
Exactly.
She'll never say no to a card with money in it.
Right?
Is that what you gave your mom?
No, my mom loves Bath and Body Works, so
love
she likes to
that.
smell good, feel good. She likes to get the aromatherapy,
love that.
get her bath salts into the water, so she gets that relaxing stuff. So, my mom can either gift card or I could give her because I know what scents and stuff she likes, and so I just gave her that, and my mom's good to go. We're very simple people. We, at least spending time with each other is what we like, but you gotta treat your mom to something.
There
Right.
you go. Nice.
I will say I felt like a sap all day long because, obviously the hormones are just going wild, but because, reading everyone's little sentimental posts and stuff, and I'm like, like wanting to tear up at everything, like everyone's posts. I'm like, the feels.
Oh my gosh.
It seriously do be on the feels on Instagram on like Mother's Day. Everybody, either like they be like, my mom, oh I love her, or it's like, I'm a mom and these are my kids. It's like,
It's so cute.
It's a lot of that.
It's a lot of love.
I might ruin the cuteness. How do you guys feel about when people are like, well, shout out to the fathers that act like moms on Mother's Day?
Wouldn't that be a Father's Day?
Exactly.
Wait
that's
your
what
turn.
happened. Yeah.
Wait your turn, bro.
And
Okay.
that's what happens on Father's Day too. Like shout out to all the moms that act like dads or like that play the father figure.
You
too.
know what? That doesn't bother me as much as dog moms or pet moms. I feel like it wasn't until I became an actual mom to a human that
not
now
the
it's like,
same.
okay, you're saying you celebrated Mother's Day because you were a dog mom already,
But they be super about it though. They be like,
Yeah.
I'm a dog mom, so
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
But I'm like, calm
have-
down.
it's not the
Fur
same at all
babies.
though. It's not the same.
I'm like, calm down. Like, I get it. I love dogs too. And
Same.
I love cats,
And I own a pet. I pet myself, but yeah, I would have never greeted myself, "Hey, Happy Mother's Day," because I have a cat.
Yeah, I'm like,
That bothered me. I was like, okay.
No shade though, because animals deserve a loving home, and
Yeah.
if you
I
provide a
get
loving
that.
home to your pet, then all
Exactly.
good. But this is not your holiday.
yeah, calm down.
There's
They
gotta
need their
be-
own day.
There's holidays for that. We got Puppies and Cats Day. There's Dog Day. There's Cat. Calm down. You got
There's
a
be,
bunch
right?
of them.
Pet,
Don't worry
a mom
about it.
pet or like a dad pet day.
Calm down.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Pet mom, dad mom, not dad pet, mom pet.
Mom pet. Dad pet. That sounds like a whole different topic.
Okay.
Aside from that, well, what's up?
My
with
cheeks
the-
are already hurting from laughing so much.
Let's change the subject before we get into some weird territory. Is anybody watching anything new on TV? Any movies that you guys have checked out
For
recently?
me, I've been watching Shogun on Hulu and TNT. It's a great show. I think the really thing great about it is depicts like the back then in Japan and how the culture is and everything. It really puts you in that era, and I think that's why it's getting so much reviews. It's like one of the top rated shows ever on Rotten Tomatoes, and so that's what I've been watching. It was a great show. They said that they weren't going to do another season, but they ended up greenlighting another season. So
Ooh, must be good then.
I'll have
yeah,
to check
I think
that out.
just for strong female leads, this is probably one of the strongest characters I've ever seen for a female in a show ever.
Nice.
So I think that's why it's one of the greatest shows.
I think you just sold me. I think I might have to check it out.
You won't be disappointed.
Oh, there we go.
I'll have to check that out too. Add that to my watch list.
There you go. Add it to the playlist. Anything that you're watching, Hazel?
Well, I told you last time I was watching The Circle.
Oh, yeah.
I was catching up on that. And then I am watching that other show. I'm like brain farting on what it's called, but it's like the spin-off of Selling Sunset, but the OC version.
Oh, yeah.
So I finished that new season. And then those are the shows that I'm watching right now. I also actually just finished a K-drama, Business Proposal. That was really good. It's like a rom-com. I'm into the rom-com stuff, but
That reminds me of that movie, The Proposal, with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
That's my
I
that's
remember
my
that
movie.
It's good. It's
love
so
it.
good. I wonder if it's the same. I wonder if they follow the same plot.
I can't really remember the plot of that one, but I have seen it. It's just been a while.
Yeah. So The Proposal is when Sandra Bullock, she is in America, but she's originally Canadian. She is going to be deported, so she marries Ryan Reynolds' character to stay in America, but they really actually fall in love with each other.
Oh
in the
no,
process.
it's completely different storyline.
And then Ryan Reynolds is her assistant.
Yep.
And then
right.
Sandra Bullock plays like a horrible boss that's like horrible to her.
Okay.
And horrible to everybody else. And so out of nowhere, they're like, oh, we're getting married. And then he has this big family who are like very close. So he has to bring her over to see the family. And they're like, oh my God, you're getting married.
I'll have to watch it again.
It's good.
It's been
Isn't
a while.
Betty White the grandma?
Hell yeah, Betty White was
There you
killing
go.
in that
Oh
movie.
man! So for those of you guys that are looking for something to watch, just watch The Proposal. Watch it again if you're into comedy and romantic movies like that. So.
Definitely the Native American dance part.
Oh.
That's gonna have you rolling. I'll just say that.
Yes. Oh.
There is another rom-com that just came out with Chad Michael Murray.
Michael Murray from.
One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill.
Oh yeah. I was like, I didn't know at
Princess
first, but once you said
Diaries.
One Tree Hill, I know what you're talking about.
Princess Diaries, Freaky Friday. He's in a lot, but he has a new movie, and I think it's called The Mother of the Bride.
Oh,
something like that.
yeah.
I think I saw it finally came out. I'm like, ooh, I gotta watch this. I was gonna watch it today, but I did not have time.
Ooh, nice.
maybe
What do you guys think about rom-coms? I think like rom-coms had a big period where they were like so good. You had the ones with Matthew McConaughey. You had like all these really dope
J-Lo
rom-coms.
had a bunch of
J-Lo
movies.
rom-coms
Sandra Bullock.
that were like entertaining and funny. I was a big rom-com person around that time, but I don't feel like we've had like quality rom-coms.
There's a good one that came out recently. Shoot, I'm brain farting the name of the movie, but it came out on Netflix recently, and it made me laugh so much. I think there's still some good ones. There is like a fine line between like too cheesy and then like funny.
There you
but
go. I
the
agree
too
on that
cheesy
one.
are like Hallmark status.
Yeah.
Hallmark is kind of
Hallmark
cringe.
It is like, oh my
Lifetime
gosh.
movie.
Yeah, I agree exactly with that. I know that like
Christmas Hallmark.
they have the two new stars, I guess, that's coming out. Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. They did a rom-com together, and it made a lot of money in the theaters and doing a lot of streaming, but I forget what the title is.
Ooh, okay.
Too, but might want to check that one out.
Yeah, you know what? When rom-coms were really big, I was into it, but now I'm kind of more into like the sci-fi mystery.
I've always been
thriller type
into that.
movies now, and like fantasy kind of movies as well. So I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna take a really good rom-com for me to get back on the boat with that. But as far as something I'm watching, it's kind of like, it's hard to describe the genre. They kind of categorize it as comedy. It's on Apple TV, and it's called Big Door Prize. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
It stars homie Chris O'Dowd. He was in Bridesmaids. He was the cop, the Irish cop.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It stars him and a bunch of actors and actresses that I'm not too familiar with, but it's really interesting. Like, there's a mysterious game arcade that pops up into the local town's like convenience store or whatever. Everybody plays it, and what happens is it dispenses a card for you, and on the card it tells you what your life potential is. And
wow.
so
wow.
That's crazy.
everybody's taking these but these cards really serious, and people start really like changing their lives dramatically, and just seeing how it kind of changes, like, I don't know, it changes like people's trajectory in life, and it makes them, either it inspires them or it saddens them, or like it really changes how they feel about the people around them. So it's really interesting. It's called Big Door Prize. It's there's season 2 right now, and I binged it up until like I'm all caught up now, and I think it's really cool. I wouldn't call it so much feel good, but I don't know, something about it, I really like it. So
you said it was on Apple TV?
Apple TV,
okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yep.
You know that show Reese Witherspoon and is Jennifer Aniston on Apple TV?
It's Newsroom or something like that?
Something, yeah, I remember
it's like about the newsroom or something.
Yeah, I forgot I'm like terrible with titles, but I saw that the whole thing, so good. If you're into like drama, and it's just, it's definitely like, it just reels you in with the drama that they have, and it's more on the serious side, I would say. But yeah, it's really good. If you guys want to see that, it's on Apple TV.
I think it's like off a play of Fox News and like the situations that happen there. So yeah, I heard it was
Steve
good.
Carell, yeah.
Yeah,
he's good in it. You'll hate him in that one though.
Steve Carell has been picking some really interesting roles for himself, in his later part of his career. I watched this show that he was in. I want to say Netflix, like a year ago, called The Patient. He played a psychiatrist, and his patient was a murderer.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I saw previews of that, but I never watched it. I know what you're talking about.
His role was so serious.
Yeah.
I can't say I loved the show, but just watching Steve Carell, like, do his thing and, like, really flex his, like, acting skill, it was like, whoa, this is not Michael Scott from The Office. We all know and love.
That's how I felt about him in that other show, the one with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. But I will say it's a different vibe for Jennifer Aniston and Reese too. Like, that's why I love the show too. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you see them just really take their acting to like the next level, and it's like, wow. It's like I've never seen them in that light. Yeah. So it was just amazing to see them in that. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so we have Erin, as you know, today on this episode, and we are going to talk about music and our influences growing up, our favorite genres and artists and all that. So who wants to start off?
I think I'll go start off. I think definitely starting off in my younger periods, you grow up with your family and listen to what they listen to.
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
Very influenced by what my mom was listening to, a little Marvin Gaye, a little bit of B.B. King, a lot of soul music, a lot of Motown. My mom also liked classical music. It was definitely a lot of classical music in the house. So it's was into a little bit of everything. I think that's why I kind of got from my mom that, not just into one type of genre, but just like little everything, but a lot of soul. There was definitely a lot of soul in the house.
Love that.
I feel you on that. I would want to attribute like my wide knowledge of music to my dad.
Hey.
He was born in the mid 50s, so his adolescence was all in the 70s. That's where that's when he grew up. So he was exposed to a whole lot of awesome music, Motown, funk,
Nice.
Marvin Gaye. Oh, he loved the Bee Gees. Oh my gosh. Stevie Wonder, all that good stuff. He even listened to like a little bit of like, the Blue-Eyed Soul with like, Hall & Notes and Fleetwood Mac. And he also listened to, oh my gosh, he loved his power ballads too. So when we get into the 80s and 90s, he was all about Whitney Houston, Michael Bolton, Celine Dion, all this stuff. And he loved his rock and roll too. Like, Journey. That's
Journey,
a big one.
yeah.
He loved Journey. Aerosmith and all that good stuff. So I would attribute.
Woo, Aerosmith. Oh, Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Oh my gosh. That's a Rolling. No wait.
Hey.
Rolling Stone. Temptations.
Temptations.
There you go.
Classic.
Yeah. So like every weekend, my dad would like blast his music. He would either blast records or tapes or CDs, or he'll just blast the radio, and we would just clean the house.
Nice.
It's bringing back a lot of, it's like nostalgic, and I'm trying to like not even get too emotional about it. RIP to both of our pops. But that was a big also memory for me growing up, which you guys both have reminded me, that my dad also would blast music. And on the weekends specifically, it would be like in the morning when he's cooking breakfast. But he cooked in our family, so he was always playing music when he was cooking. And the biggest genre was jazz, and I don't really remember names besides Kenny G, but it was a lot of jazz. And then pretty much everybody you guys named, Earth, Wind and Fire, but heavy on the jazz. And man, it was like when you know that jazz music was playing, you knew that there was gonna be bomb food being cooked. And you smelt it because you'd wake up to it. You know,
it's like a good listening. You're like, hey, okay, we eating today.
So
we eating good
for sure. I remember that. I know my mom just had like the eras of like, what is it, like Donna Summer?
The disco.
Donna Summer.
That era. I don't know. I can't even I'm terrible with names, but you know, that whole era of music.
Yep.
The Cyndi Lauper.
80s pop music was so good.
80s, I ain't gonna lie. If it was like one generation that I would want to like live through to see like the music era, it'd be the 80s for me.
80s seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, Wham.
Even the fashion, it was very like the colors were very like pop. Yeah,
I felt like people were more like able to express themselves.
Yeah,
like you had the like androgyny about it. So like men wore makeup, men put hairspray in their hair. You had Boy George, you know what I mean? Elton John even started coming out. Like literally coming out of his shell.
Some high boots.
Exactly.
All leather.
Definitely 80s rocked for sure.
90s was more grunge pop, punk, right? Type of style.
Grunge and gangster rap.
Gangster rap.
Ooh, it got real dark in the 90s.
It did.
But we loved it though. We ate it up, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. It was a moment.
Yeah, for me personally, I've said it before on the other episodes about how I was heavy on the pop music. So the Michael Jackson, the Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, the NSYNC, Christina Aguilera. And then I think I didn't even learn really like hip hop until I got into high school from my friend. And it was like A Tribe Called Quest, Pharcyde.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't into it like heavy, but that was when I was introduced to it. So I didn't even get into the Biggie and Tupac till maybe college. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel
for me,
I feel like I was late to a lot of people's music.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in high school, I was like very much pop. Right?
And alternative rock.
Yeah.
That was heavy then for sure.
Yes. So then like later on, like after college age, I started like going back a few years and like listening to the golden era hip hop. And I was like, oh shit, all right. So instead of me just knowing 2 Tribe Called Quest songs, I'm over here like downloading like 5 of their albums. And like, I guess we could talk about this later, but Mos Def was like one of my favorite rappers for a long time.
Mos Def.
Yeah. Black on Both Sides and
Black Star
with Talib Kweli. I was like, wow, this is hip hop. This is what hip hop is supposed to be. But no, I feel you on that. Yeah, I mean, I think like in elementary school, I was kind of more into like the mainstream hip hop.
Yeah.
And then high school, it was all the pop stuff like Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, Mandy Moore, all that stuff.
Mandy Moore, heavy Mandy Moore.
Yeah, and then like the very
Spice Girls,
pop type R&B. So like a lot of the
TLC,
Usher stuff. Yeah,
Usher,
TLC, 702,
3LW.
3LW. Oh my God.
With the little
no
gap.
more.
Say it again. Say it again. I promise. I promise. The broken promises.
We're gonna have to have a karaoke night. Invite everybody out. On it.
Hey, those are the jams though back in the day.
So
it is
good.
still a jam. I don't know what you talking
hell
about.
yeah, it's so a jam. These children don't know.
You don't know about that.
Millennials, but there also during that era was alternative rock. So what the Sum 41, Linkin Park, Yellow Card.
In the end, it doesn't even
What was that
matter.
band called that did like a lot of Michael Jackson covers too?
That was AFI.
AFI?
That was AFI.
Is it AFI?
They did the and are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Didn't someone do
yeah.
Smooth? That was Smooth
Yeah,
Criminal. That was the one I was talking
AFI.
about.
No, that was Alien Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm. Yeah, that was it. I was like, wait.
Whoa, I just like pulled it out of my head.
Oh, yes.
Came out of nowhere.
I haven't thought about that band name in a long time.
I have an interesting, you know how it's awkward transition, like between like junior high age to high school?
Yeah.
I hung out with the same group of friends that I went to junior high with to ninth grade to high school, and I remember like music kind of being a weird factor in the way that friendships were changing, because the group that I was hanging out with, they were like, we were good friends, right? In junior high, everyone's like normal or whatever you want to call normal. But then in ninth grade, everyone in my group started wearing like all black and like was in the punk kind of look, emo. And then I was over here, the only one wearing like bright pink and just kind of doing me. And then also they didn't play sports, but I played sports. But I just remember it was just such a weird transition because they were all black and listening to different kind of music. I was over here the pop and the hip hop, and then they're in the punk, and then as like years went on, like we kind of did drift apart. But I don't know, did you guys have any experiences like that, and kind of music being a weird, like kind of big part of that, especially when you're a teenager, right? Because music's such a big thing for you as a teenager.
Absolutely. I feel like music connects us with certain people. So like if you don't share that, it's kind of hard to find other common ground as like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, you know what I mean? Aside from like TV, like music, if you don't connect on a music level, it's kind of like, oh, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah,
today
that's
if we're not
true.
talking about music.
Yeah, I think it's pretty big because, I mean, back in our time, you had to go get CDs. So it was like, you know, we had to get those CDs. Like, oh, you got the new CD? Oh, you got the new album? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's coming out on Tuesday, because a lot of new CDs used to come out on Tuesdays. And so it was like, yeah, I remember it was like a lot of, I can still remember at 2006, I already know the year, Confessions came out, Usher, and that's everybody was talking about. Oh, it's about Chili. Oh, dang, it's about this. Oh, dang, he got a baby on the way. But I remember like during certain time periods because of music and how that was. But also, I think I was definitely the type of kid that like hung out with everybody. Like I wouldn't even like get my lunch during lunch period. I would like low key just hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like, I think kind of that was like how I kind of liked every type of music too, because I had all the different type of friends also. So it's kind of crazy how that happens.
I think there's nothing that beats the time we had, because it was so fun having the physical CD copy.
Oh, yeah.
And then having the booklet with, especially when they had the lyrics, and then they have posters sometimes, like the Confessions, as the poster. And yeah, it's just like, it's a different time. It was an excitement. You had to wait in line, and like now it's just so fast. Like it's just
too easy.
Digital.
Too easy to get the music.
I think that's what the big thing about music. I think overall with everything nowadays, everything's like fast.
Too fast.
It's here, it's gone, it was there, it was done. It's never just like soaking up an album.
Exactly.
Or soaking up like what this mean. Like I remember when albums were a story, right? It was like, okay, this was a chapter, this was a chapter, and this was a chapter. And it was telling you this and it was telling you that. Now it's like, oh, I'm coming out the single, it's a banger, another banger.
It's just single after single.
After single.
And then big old CD Walkmans. Or was it called a Walkman?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
If you had
Before the iPod.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think that was like so, you know, back in the day when you didn't have an iPhone and you had to separate your music from your phone. I had my dad. He gave it me for a present. He gave me his what do you call it?
Those iPods.
The iPod.
iPod. They had the iPod
the first generation
Shuffle.
iPod, the thick one. You know, and the brick.
The brick.
But he had so much music on there, and that's what's really got me like really. I think that was like when I became the biggest fan of Bob Marley, got more into reggae, got more into like different types of music. But definitely reggae was like, I was like, okay, Bob, all right, jamming, all right.
Yeah. Dude, I feel you on that. You're lucky that your father just gifted you an iPod full of songs.
It was seriously life changing, because I was, like I said, I grew up listening to certain things from my mom. I didn't grow up with my dad in the house, but you know, he gave me that, and I was like, oh dang, and I think that was when I started listening. He had Tupac on there, and like more songs. He had like Biggie. It was I don't know where that thing is at now, but it was definitely like I listened to it like all the time. And it was so much music on there.
Man, that's awesome.
I feel like we played DJ at a very early age with the Napster, the LimeWire, burning CDs.
Hey, make me a playlist, bro. Make me a playlist.
Hey, for real.